the most important word for search engine optimization, for getting people to come to your website, is relevance. Google is interested in their results being as relevant as possible, so they go through a lot of trouble to understand what your website is really about, and to only send people that are looking for whatever your website is about to your site, because they want relevant results, because whoever's got the most relevant results are going to get used by people when they're searching, and whoever gets used by people are also the same people that are going to click on ads, and those are the people that are going to generate Google's $1.5 billion of profit a quarter, or whatever it is that they make. So when Google looks to generate a rank, it does two things. One is it understands what your site is about by reading all the different data. And we're going to talk about different pieces and how you can structure that to get found more. But the other thing is it calculates something called PageRank, which is the importance of your site, which we'll talk about in a moment. So first of all, what your site is about. Googlebot, the program that goes out and reads everything online, will come to your site and read all the content. There's different bits of content that are important places, because when we look at optimizing a website, first of all, we want to understand what your business is about, what people are looking for, and then we do research to find out what are keywords that people are actually using to search to find products like yours, because the words you're using might be a local Winnipeg term, maybe the people in Saskatchewan that you want to market to are using other terms. There's ways to find that out online. But once we have that list of keywords that we want to be found on, then essentially, if you want to just really simplify it, we put those words in your website in lots of different places. You don't want to use it too many. We had somebody, actually at a different workshop that we had at Steinbach, one of the people in the room said, well, I don't know what happened. I mean, we had really good rankings, and then all of a sudden, we're like on the 15th page of Google for our keywords. So we looked at their site. Every second word on the site was the keyword. So Google looks at that and thinks, well, I mean, geez, come on, it's like 80% of your website is like these 3 words. I mean, obviously, you're not an authentic site on the subject, and knock them down on the rankings. So, I mean, that was pretty easy to predict. So you don't want to do that. That's called keyword spamming. Generally, we shoot for 5 to 7% of your total website content should be a particular keyword or related keyword. So if it's about pet carriers, then generally it would be that amount. The importance of your site can be measured by something called PageRank. PageRank is not about a particular page of your website. One of the co-founders of Google is Larry Page. He invented PageRank. That's where he gets his name from. So PageRank is a measure of the importance of your website, and there's a particular algorithm for that that's based on how many other people are linking to your website. And this is a little complicated, but let me explain. You have 2 different websites, website A and website B, okay? They both have exactly the same content. Which one should come first, A or B? Quickly, people, don't have much time. A? A? B? Well, that's interesting. It's random. I don't know which one will come first. If they're identical, it should be one and then the other, right? Like if they're identical. So now let me ask you this. If this website here has 3 other websites that are linking to it, and this website B has no other websites that are linking to it, which one is probably more important? Right, okay. Now if website B also has 3 websites linking to it, now which one is most important?
Depends on the links and the importance of
There you go. Yeah. Glenn, very good, yes. That's exactly what it does. It depends on the importance of those websites that are linking. And basically, if you can imagine this, there's 206 million websites on the internet. Every 3 weeks or so, the Google servers solve an equation which is 206 million terms long, because they calculate the value of every website based on the value of every website that's linking to it. And of course, the value of those websites is calculated by the value of all of the websites that are linking to it, and so on and so forth. So it's this massive equation, but that's how they calculate the relative worth of your website. And I'm going to summarize 8 different steps for increasing your rank, stuff that we talked about already. One is identify what your keywords are. Figure out what the words are that you actually want to be found on. Now, if we had more time, I could show you this tool here from Google. By the way, if anybody wants to get the copy of this presentation, give me your card or whatever after the session. I'll shoot it off to you. You can use this tool from Google, and it'll tell you what people are actually searching for. You may think they're searching for pet carrier, but maybe they're searching for doggy carrier. And how would you know, right? So you can use a tool like that and it'll tell you what people are actually searching for. Step 2 is you've got to optimize your web pages. You basically go through your website and you find places to use those current terms, but not just those exact terms, but synonym terms as well. Because Google knows naturally it's not just one term, but a whole collection of terms that kind of mean the same things that are used in natural language. If you're going to be optimizing, we generally say start with 3 to 6 keywords. And if you have a really complicated site, you might pick different sections of the website and optimize them for different groups of keywords. And that's called a landing page or a landing area or what have you. You can use the site command. The site command is pretty cool because it'll scan your site for a particular term. So if I'm looking for pet carrier, I can say pet carrier site dogtravelpro.com, and it'll tell me every page on that site that is referencing the term pet carrier. And there's 112, which is good, which is a lot of pages. Okay, so you can use the site command to very simply verify which pages of your website are using particular terms. There's more complicated methods as well that you can use as you got more serious with it. Next thing is you want to ideally train Googlebot to come back to your site more often. It's got 260 million websites to look at, right? How often is it going to come back to yours? Not often if you're not updating it, because why? If nothing changes, why is it spending its energy coming back and reading all your pages? So the ideal is, and it rarely happens in practice, but the ideal is you update your website once a week, because you want Googlebot to keep coming back and reading your content on a regular basis, so that when you do have something new and you post it on your website, you don't have to wait 3 weeks or 6 weeks for Googlebot to come back and read the content. That's why you want to train it to keep coming back on a regular basis. Next is you've optimized your website, you want to get links coming to you. So you're talking to your partners, your suppliers, your customers, other stakeholders, industry associations, online directories. You want links from them coming back to your website. We talked about how to build those links using those keywords. Then, as you get more serious, you can use tools to track your progress, to track your rankings. But until that time, it doesn't take much to just do a search for pet carrier in Google and see what page you show up on. If you're not in the first 10 pages, you generally aren't going to exist. But, and this is important, just because you don't show up in the top 10 in Winnipeg does not mean you're not showing up in a different order in Calgary, Vancouver, the UK, or anywhere else. Because it is very local dependent. Not on all keywords, but Google wants to send a local result back as often as possible. And there are strategies that exist where if you're targeting multiple geographic areas, then there's certain things you can do to try to show up in multiple places. Okay, next thing is track your traffic. There's, you want to find out who's coming to your website. There's a great free tool called Google Analytics that you guys can use to find out exactly who's coming to your website. From where in the world are they coming from? Are they spending a long time on your site, a little time? All of these things you can know, and you can even look at it visually and have a picture of your website and it'll overlay all the numbers on top of it so you can see visually what people are doing to navigate through your website, which is really important information to have. And it's free and it's easy to set up. And then you start again, because it's a never-ending battle with optimization. Sometimes you get lucky and you optimize the site once and it stays great for years. Other times it requires a lot of work. Generally it depends on what your competitors are doing. There's a couple of resources that you can use as good beginner guides for search engine optimization that you can get some information on.